on to the supposed last of the Nightmare on Elm Street series, Freddy's Dead Part 6.
Here we go.
And Freddy's Dead Part 6, you get the entire origin of how Freddy gets his powers from the dream demons that they talk about.
Yeah.
During the fire, Freddy asks for more power. He wants it all. He wants to live forever. And that's how he becomes the dream demon that we all know and love, through these embodied dream demons. And we're introduced to, some not the best written characters, but more characters that are experiencing the same things with Freddy.
Yeah.
And there is a mystery on Freddy had a child. Who is their child? And like I said, this is where spoilers come in. If you've been watching us for this long, I hope that you know that we've been spoiling the entire, the entire series. But it's revealed that the main character, Catherine Kruger, I forget what was her name that she went under.
Let me check. I know you're talking. I know the actress. It's Lisa Zane. That's Billy Zane's. It was Maggie, but wait. It was Maggie, but Catherine is her real name. You're right.
Yeah. Maggie. Yeah, it was Maggie, and the entire thing is like, who's Freddy's child? It turns out.
Yeah.
The main character, the brunette.
Yeah.
And we do get not necessarily my preferred final showdown with Amanda.
Yeah,
we do get a glimpse of what kind of father Freddy was.
Yeah.
And I have to talk about probably the coolest Easter egg, because we get into Freddy's childhood.
I know you're going to
find out. We do see Freddy's father, played by Alice Cooper.
I knew you were going to say that.
And it just brings everything full circle, and it's perfect that he kind of plays Alice. He kind of plays Freddy's father. Alice does.
Yeah.
And we see that Freddy killed his father.
Right.
He's always been bloodthirsty. And, and grew up to be this maniac of a father. And turns out that Amanda actually knew about his basement and saw something he shouldn't have. And like the first one, Alice devised a plot to pull Freddy into the real world, which she does. And there's some really cool banter in between the two, but it's kind of underwhelming in that they kind of blow him up, and you see in a very 3D fashion. By the way, this was, I think,
early CGI,
only 3D Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes,
it was in 3D, so you do get some early 90s 3D effects, as well as some hilarious deaths. I love the video game death with Spencer. And Spencer is a gamer, he's a stoner, so Freddy kills him with the power glove.
Yeah.
And also joysticks. And that's the thing about this movie. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad movie. In terms of being a horror film, it's bad. Right? But in terms of being sort of this dark comedy with still some substance in it, it's pretty good and pretty entertaining. It's actually one of my favorites, because of how tongue-in-cheek it is.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to touch upon?
Well, I'm the opposite. I really don't like this movie that much. I mean, I can understand why people like it, because of the goofy, the campiness that's supposed to be a parody to
people are very mixed
Freddy Krueger, and the character Lisa Zane plays, Freddy Krueger's daughter. I mean, I think there's potential in this, but she wasn't written as well as we would have wanted. You would think that, this is Freddy Krueger's daughter. There could have been more to it.
Was okay. I do think the deaths should have been a little bit more.
Yeah, this movie's very Looney Tune and cartoony. And Tex Avery, especially how
it's very very campy, very slapsticky.
Right.
There are some dramatic moments, like with one of the characters who has an abusive father. I forget. Yeah. That's a cool moment where Freddy kind of plays on that fear of him coming back and
But the thing is, you have some serious moments. So it's how am I going to be taking this seriously? You have all this goofy comedy stuff going on at the same time.
It's not a bad thing, but to each his own. It's a mixed bag.
Yeah. And also, how did you get Roseanne Barr and Tom Arnold for cameos? Again, I don't get it. I don't see the connection.
Well, he was popular. But I think towards the 90s, people were starting to wind down. I really think
Freddy.
This is the wind down sequel. This was sort of okay. We're kind of done with Freddy.
Yeah, franchise fatigue, like you said, and one of the
this
podcasts.
Was supposed to be the final nightmare. They called it the final nightmare. It's technically part 6, but they called it Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare.
Yeah,
complete with a montage of all the movies and the end credits and theme, and they were going to make this fun.
Before I even saw this movie, I knew about the video game Kill the Power Glove, because I remember like one of the guys from Channel Awesome, I think it may have been Blockbuster Buster, like using that clip as a joke in one of his videos.
Right, and it's one of my favorite Freddy gags for sure.
Yeah, and he spoofs the Wizard of Oz. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul too.
Yeah, and the bus driver kill, where he's a bus driver, and all the kills, Carlos's killing him with his own hearing aid, they're all kind of goofy and slapsticky, and that's why I love it. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
Right.
It's kind of it's definitely a popcorn movie. It's definitely a movie to put on with your friends that maybe are not really into horror films, but are like, I got this goofy horror film. Right. One of the Freddy movies, whatever.
We could like watch this and like do Mystery Science Theater 3000 style, like poking fun of how bad it's supposed to be.
It's goofy, and I think it's meant to kind of be that.
Right.
And for better or worse, I know people love it or hate it. I like it.
As personal preference, I'd rather watch Gremlins 2 over this, but that's just me.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just feel bad that like Robert Englund had to like suffer through, like, he's a great actor and a great Freddy, but he had to like.
Well, like I said before, and like I've been saying throughout this video here, Robert Englund doesn't phone it in. He does not phone it in as Freddy, regardless of the project. So he's consistently the best thing about these movies, for better or for worse.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and I knew you were going to be excited talking about the Alice Kubrick. I'm like, yup, he's going to say it.
I have to.
Right. I know.
It's one of the coolest.
And like you said, the mention about Freddy Krueger's background. What happened to Amanda Krueger? It's like she doesn't exist anmoore at this point. Like, it's like she just vanished, or maybe the mother just
going forward. Going forward, they kind of sort of retcon. But when we get to Freddy versus Jason, we'll talk about what could have been done, all the stuff.
And also Johnny Depp has a cameo in this film. I don't think he doesn't play Glenn. It's just him playing himself, where Brooklyn Myers' character is like watching an anti-drug commercial.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that was Johnny.
Yeah, I didn't expect that when I first saw this. I'm like, is that Glenn? But no, it's not. It's just Johnny Depp being Johnny Depp.
Little cameo. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
Yes. Yeah. Also, they reference Twin Peaks. If anybody's ever seen or watched
I did appreciate Twin Peaks.
Because Twin Peaks was very popular around the time when this.
I'm a fan of Twin Peaks and David.
Same. Big. It's watched. It runs in the family. My parents were fans of that show, and they watched it a lot when the show was on television back at that time in the early 90s.
Right.
Yeah. And you have Yvette Kodo, again, good actor, but I just feel bad he's in a bad movie.
Well, I don't know. It's like I said, Freddy's Dead is a mixed bag. I like it personally. I understand what kind of movie it is, but
it's
that's just my opinion.
Right, I rarely watch this. Well, like I said, but like a good fanboy, I watched this in preparation for this podcast.
For me, spoilers ahead, but we've been spoiling. But for me, the one that I don't hate, because it's still has some good stuff. Robert Englund does put in a good performance, but Freddy and Jason is definitely the weakest for me. Yeah.
I like Freddy versus Jay, but that's just my opinion. But that's all good, though. It's all good. It's okay, my friend.
All right. With that said, you move on to...
there are a few more things I do have to say. This is the only Nightmare on Elm Street film that was directed by a woman.
That's right. I forgot to mention the female director. I forget her name.
Her name is, wait, I'm looking it up. I have it right here.
Google search.
Rachel Talalay. I'm not sure if I'm saying her last name right.
We could be butchering her name, but
yeah, we apologize.
I'm glad. I like the film personally, and that's
right.
But
and also the John Doe character, they never really mentioned what his real name is when he thought that he was Freddy's son. The opening scene when he's on the airplane, I'm thinking pre-Final Destination.
A little bit,
disaster
but movie kind of homage to.
Somewhat. Okay, that's true too. True, good point there. I'd rather be watching Airplane over that.
Yeah.
Yep. I picked the wrong week to pick the wrong movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But,
yeah. Also, wait. Let's see. Sorry, I apologize for.
Total memento, folks. He's getting his notes. He's getting his notes.
Yes. That originally Peter Jackson was offered this film at the time, and his original concept was about Freddy aging getting weaker in the dream world, and you have these teenagers that would do drugs and have like parties in the dream world, kicks like Freddy's butt. And the original title was going to be called The Nightmare on Elm Street: The Dream Lover.
I don't know about that. That sounds like
that doesn't. I don't know. That just
sounds like a bad idea. That sounds like. Say what you will about Freddy's Dead. That sounds 10 times worse. God bless
I can agree on that one. And they also wanted to bring back Alice and Jacob for this film, and that Jacob was going to be the John Doe character. So basically, the John Doe is Jacob, but just written as a different character.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about the surviving characters when we get to Freddy vs. Jason and talk about what could or should have would have been done. But
okay.
That said.